you today. So the topic we're going to be talking about is barista self-care, kind of wrists and back and everything else, with a licensed therapist, a very trained therapist, Polly Fowler, who is based in Manchester in the United Kingdom. And the great thing is that Polly actually used to be a barista, so she kind of knows all those squeaky elbows and everything else.
Heck. God. Fab. So I would love to just sort of say a couple of words about myself and kind of my approach to things and yeah, my experience in hospitality. So I've been treating for about 5 years now, but only full time for about 2.5. For the time before that, I was supported by working in hospitality, and shout out to the coffee shops that really supported me. Yeah, honestly, so much love, but I completely and utterly understand the physical, emotional and mental stress that working in coffee shops, or even if you're a supplier, it can be really tough. And I feel like it can be quite underappreciated how harsh working behind a coffee bar can be on your body. It's long hours and you may be doing loads of heavy lifting. There's loads of repetitive actions. And if we're so focused on serving and we don't give anything back to ourselves, of course we're going to feel completely and utterly scrumpled. So I want to go through...
Yes, that's what
Sorry, my vocab might veer off a little bit. But I want to go through some...
Just say it's professional.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's massage lingo. Go through some stretches, some self-massage stuff, and also just asking a couple of questions for how you can help yourself when you're in your workplace. And I'm sure if I experienced it, other people will have. In terms of taking home the stress, like, huge thing that I wish I could have, my past self in hindsight, I wish I hadn't taken home customers' stories. I'm sure we've all experienced tough days and it feels like you've had just a load put on you and you're almost acting as a therapist, but you're giving a beautiful hot drink at the same time. And if you can just take a moment and ground yourself, and by grounding I mean literally feeling your body against the ground. So whether it's putting your hands on the bar, whether it's feeling into your feet in your shoes, because obviously you're not bare feet when you're working in a coffee shop.
I hope not, no.
Yeah, please. But just finding a way to connect with your body, connect with your breath, and acknowledge whatever is going on for them is just their story. It's not yours. Because if we take that on and then you serve the next customer, I remember I growled at someone once. Like, it was terrible. The guilt was immense. But we don't. So taking that moment to go, it's all right, I'm doing my thing, you're doing yours. Hopefully this flat white will make you feel better. But
that's what coffee does. To a point.
Exactly. So I suppose going on from that, in terms of the busyness of this type of business, and obviously that varies across, whether you might have a beautiful little cafe with only a few tables, or it might just be go, 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 go. Really staying connected with the breath. And if you know that you're getting super vamped up, extend the exhale. It's so helpful, as it tells the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system called rest and digest, that helps you calm down. Even if they don't need to know you're doing it, but you can just be behind that tool or behind that machine, extend the exhale by an extra 2 or 3 counts. And it is the simplest thing to tell your body you're okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure
I think everyone does. I think everyone does it when they get like they're starting to get angry or they're starting to feel stressed. I think your body naturally just goes, okay, don't don't
Exactly.
don't let the emotion bubble up past the skin, and let's breathe through the rush on bar right now.
I mean, you either have the fight where you want to punch the customer, which also don't recommend doing that.
We don't condone that.
Absolutely not. Or that freeze, and quite frankly, I remember just blanking out at one point where you're like, I don't know what to do. Or complete fold, and I've watched people just walk behind and be like, I'm out. I've got to take 5 minutes. But if you can take the situation in hand, and to be honest, you know, when there's other people on the other side of the bar, if they see you're stressed, tell them where you're at.
Yeah.
Being like, well, just, you know, it's just, you may need to take an extra few seconds, but I'm sure that's okay. So in terms of the aches and pains that we can feel when we're baristaing, again, I'm sure I'm not the only one. I got carpal tunnel syndrome. I thought I was going to die.
If you want to, can you explain what carpal tunnel syndrome is? Because
yes, of course. It's where the nerves, usually this median nerve on these 3 fingers down forearm, get compressed.
Okay.
And when you're in this position and you're flexed too much.
Yes. Which is tamping and like.
Exactly. But when you think about all the wrist actions that you have to do, and especially usually it's only with one arm, then it's going to get absolutely, I was going to say knackered. I'm like, yeah, I'll say that. In terms of, do we take the time to stretch it out after? Do we? I hope so. But in terms of that little reminder of this is your job and it is your livelihood, and you need to respect your body as you're doing this. So you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't take a few minutes to do some decent stretches. And like me, I now sleep in splints. I wake up with just tingling pain. Like, honestly, it can get really bad, and if you get it to that point, baristaing might not even be the career for you. So keep on top of physical health, mental and emotional health, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. So what I thought we would do is do some together, and whoever's watching,
I've prepared myself. This is why you can see my arms in this.
Perfect. So, are we we both wearing dungarees, or did I get that wrong?
No, I'm not wearing dungarees. It's just my hair. This is lockdown hair. Yes. Okay.
So, and for anyone who is joining in at home, obviously this is self-care, not self-torture. So at any point, if you experience sharp shooting pain and it feels quite isolated, just ease off, please. We're not here to create that pain. You may experience discomfort, and that's how we can distinguish, we can breathe through it, and it's almost that sweet pain where you're like, oh yeah, that's doing something. Okay. So start off with, let's just relax our arms down by our sides, ease the shoulders away from the ears, and sitting nice and tall. So what I mean by that is that just lifting the crown of the head, so you get all that. Yep, perfect. And however you're sat, yes, exactly. And whether you're sat or stood up, feeling grounded in your feet or in your sitting bones, so really connecting to the seat. Beautiful cat behind you. Love.
Oh yeah, she's gonna do it too.
So aiming when we're sitting or standing nice and straight, aiming for head over our heart and our heart over our pelvis. So what I mean by that is, rather than sticking your bum out and really arching your back, or being really curved round, we find that length in the spine, and we feel nice and lifted. Now, to be honest, depending on your posture, if you've been working behind a bar for years and you haven't either built enough core or you have a favorable leg, it's totally natural for when you do straighten up, it feels really weird. So having a look in a mirror and having a little play and feeling it out, definitely worth it. Okay, so shoulders down. Let's just take a few decent shoulder rolls. Right to the ears and back down. Beautiful. And the other way. Just finding a bit of space around the joint. Yes,
I'm
nice
just
and slow.
the aeropress here.
And then we're going to take our hands to our shoulders and just circle the elbows and then let the elbows kiss. So hopefully that's it. So even that, we should be getting a little bit of stretch around our rhomboids.
Oh, you broke up there.
Oh, am I back?
You broke up there just for a moment. Could you talk about making the elbows kiss again?
Yes, of course. So circling round, let the elbows kiss, and then just circle back out. So we're just making a bit of space in the upper body. Send that circle the other way. Good. Okay. We're going to go into eagle arms. So we're going to take our arms out to the side. Heck yeah.
Okay.
Might not fly with these, but that's all right. Right arm. Go over left. Beautiful. To start with, give yourself a nice little cuddle. Hold those shoulders. Beautiful.
I see this is mental therapy as well.
Yeah. Self-soother ever. It's great. So from here, if it feels okay, we're going to start squeezing the elbow joints together.
You're slightly breaking up again. So like squeezing the arms.
Squeezing the arms. Lift the hands up and see if you can take hold.
Oh no. Wait. You broke up slightly. So could you go from the squeezing of the arms?
Yeah, of course. Am I back?
Yes, you're back now. I'm just going to give
right arm over left, hugging, and then lift the arms up so fingertips point towards the ceiling. That's it. And then if you can, aiming to hold one hand with the other. If not, if that is like a no-go, there we go. That's it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh God, I got my hair stuck.
Okay.
Fab. So from here, squeeze the elbows in.
Okay.
Take a deep breath in. And then lift the elbows up. Yes, great. So keep the breath going. Deep breath in, squeeze the elbows.
And do you do like breath in through the nose or through the mouth? Or does it matter?
I would recommend
breath
through
in.
the nose. And then lift the elbows up. And then from here, perfect. So you see how oh my days, you see how the hands are getting towards the forehead?
Yeah.
Gently move them away. And that'll open out the upper body even more. So keep lifting.
Ooh.
And there we go. There we go. Perfect.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Right in between the shoulder blades. Perfect. So very gently, lower back down and slowly unravel.
Okay.
Wow,
nice.
Beautiful. So
that really opens it up. That's incredible.
So if you're going to do that, make sure you do it on the other side. And it might feel weird and it might feel completely different from one side to the other. But this you've got to balance it out, because as we know, if we're working a film,
you've gone again. Wait,
you went to.
I think we're good now.
Are we back?
Instagram.
We're back.
Yeah.
No, just I've got you.
I can see you.
Oh no!
Oh, Instagram, you mistress of evil.
have to say this. Can I come back on if I turn my Wi-Fi off? Will that be okay?
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether that's a problem.
I can do some public service announcements during that time if you want. All right. So while Polly goes and battles with her internet, I'm just going to. I'm not sure if any of you've seen, but we're currently doing a really interesting giveaway. Well, let's see.
Come on! I'm so sorry. Look at these technical difficulties.
Not at all. This is not your fault. This is the World Wide Web, my dear.
So, I'm hoping that you'll be able to see me. Otherwise, I'm just going to gnaw your ear off. So
we can do it like as in like tell them what to do kind of thing. It's description based.
Well, what I'm hoping for. Where's the image? Goodness me. Right. I'll give it another one. Otherwise, Ollie's here. Thanks, Ollie. So, of course, so rebalancing everything. Any stretch you do on one side, make sure.
And she's gone. Is she gone? Oh my God, it's like being visited by a massage therapist ghost. Yeah, so while Polly, oh, there we go. Come on, Polly, you could do it.
Are we in?
I can hear you.
Right, I'm still going to say this point because I think it's an important one. So I really, really remember, and I still hear about the woes of baristas and people working in coffee. And to be honest, in most jobs, no, I know, I'm sorry, I'm not displaying. I can't seem to get this camera. I think it's just the connection. We'll leave it 1 more minute. If you are right-handed, or whichever your dominant hand is for working on the bar, how much action does that arm get? And in terms of that spiral, and I'm doing all the moves and you can't flip and see me, like the way that you're...
Oh, I'm just going. Let's see if she can try it again. This feels like someone's going in and out the door in a way. You can almost hear them from the other room, kind of thing. Let's try again. Come on, internet.
Come on. Come on. What is going on? Oh, cursed. I'm absolutely cursed. Right, I'm going to get this point across and then, tell you what, I'm just going to log out and come back in again. That's okay. How technically savvy I am. Right. Basically, working on your dominant arm, have you ever thought of at least trying and practicing all those movements on the other arm? So if you were to get into the shop a bit early, you've done all your jobs, I wouldn't recommend at the end of the day because you're pooped and you want to go home, maybe have a beer or a hydrating glass of water. But
yes,
you get there a bit early and having this mindful approach of your body and
she's gone again. Oh boy. Yeah, so while I think Polly tries to, I think it's a magic word if I mention the giveaway, then suddenly she comes back. But we're currently doing a giveaway, which you can see in our feed posts, and we also have a little highlight. It does work. You mentioned giveaway, and she pops back up.
I'm so sad. This is just terrible.
Do you want to turn on and off your internet or something and see if that works?
That's what I've just done.
Mm.
Bear with me.
Yeah, so go to our feed posts. We have a giveaway going on at the moment with Baratza, Not Neutral, Espro. You're here! Yes!
So sorry, everybody. How annoying. Okay. So, did I just interrupt you? Were you just sending?
Not at all.
Right. Okay. Right. So, after talking about if you're doing one thing on one arm, try it on the other. It's really good for just keeping your mind fresh as well. It might make you tired immediately, but it's just to keep you sharp. So let's get more into these wrists. After we've opened out in the rhomboids and between those shoulder blades, send our wrists out, and we're just going to circle to start. Beautiful. And the other way.
Yeah. Whoop.
And then we're going to interlace the fingers, and we're going to find a Mexican wave. Beautiful.
Okay, nice.
Notice some
I
clicks.
can't remember what this dance move is called, but we're just making a wave.
We're making a wave. So now try and send that wave the other way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't do that.
Fab.
So I'm sure everyone can tell me I'm doing it wrong.
And then from here, we're going to snuggle the forearms together. So squeeze the forearms, and then we're going to circle the wrists again. But keep squeezing those forearms. That's it. And the other way. So these are really simple things that you could do pre and post shift. Really, really easy. Okay. And then we'll release that and just start flashing. Or as if you try to flick water at someone you're not.
All the bad vibes.
Keen of. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So with the left hand, we'll relax the right for now. We're going to go from that flash and then into a grip. Take your thumb out, and then we're gently, with the other hand, just gently peel it out. And of course, if anyone is hypermobile or double jointed, please be careful. You're not trying to drag it back. We're just trying to release the muscle tension in the hands. So then we're going to tuck that thumb back in and release the first finger. And then from here, gently stretch it out. Great. So what we're going to be doing here is starting to release all the extensors in the forearm. And as we all know, we get so tense and then just keep going down the fingers. I didn't want to swear at the camera. Beautiful. Now, really, this is the thing. Right. See how you're opening your hand? Try and keep it all tucked in and you'll get way more. So rather than opening and stretching, tuck them all in and stretch. And that'll be way more intense. And you should be getting like, whoa, hello, right down the forearms.
Yeah, hello.
Fab. Good. So last one, little pinky finger. Tuck all the fingers in, and then just ease it on the other side.
Okay. It's funny how much of a difference this is making, but I'm glad doesn't sound like I'm popping popcorn or something. That would be
no. That's weird. There's been loads of research about the pop in the joints as well. You know, because loads of people do it because it's really satisfying, and there's been a mixture of research on whether it causes arthritis or not. And my understanding of the body is that popping any joint because it feels good is not a good idea, purely because when you click it out of place, your body understands that and goes, oh, it's out of place, I need to bring it back in. So all the muscles go and make it even tighter than it was before. So then the only way to get that release again is to force that pop. So you're just building and building the tightness. And what you need to do is lengthen it out, and that's where the stretching comes in, rather than popping. So self-manipulation of joints, no. No.
Good to know.
So hopefully that even might feel a little bit looser.
Yeah.
And then one more niggly trick before, oh goodness, where's my piece of equipment? I'll find it. We're going to go on the top of the forearm and find a release up here. So we're going for the middle line, middle finger, all the way up to the wrist, and then relax the shoulder down and just take hold of it with your thumb. Then from here, we're just going to press gently in the middle and make our way up towards the elbow. So already, and now see how your elbow's up, try and relax it down. So whether you can place it down somewhere, and I'm just using my knee as a support.
Wait.
It might feel stringy or a bit like a rubber band.
Yeah. Is it like you can feel the tendon, right?
You've got a tendon, but you've also just got really tight muscles. Like, and they're so tight that they're just like elastic. So again, all these extensors that do all our hard work to make those delicious cups of coffee, or put the orders in, whatever you do. What we're going to do is you're going to find probably the bulkiest bit directly under the elbow on this forearm. And it should feel a bit tender.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And quite more of a lump than a bit lower down. So from here, nice, relaxing the shoulders, deep breath in, then exhale, press down a bit firmer, which should make you go, oh, hello. And then we're going to wiggle our fingers. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Press and wiggle, press and wiggle, press and wiggle, press and wiggle. 3, 2, 1, and shake it off.
I think that's designed for something in ASL, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh!
Yeah, I just recommend looking it up. It is designed for something in ASL that is not a good word.
Okay.
Okay, no, you didn't intend it, so it's fine. This is therapy, not ASL language class, but just to let you know, we're good to know.
Yes. So once we've gotten to that point, just feel it out on the other side.
Okay.
Good.
It's very relaxing, I must say.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I think, and a load of that is because you're focusing so much on your body that you're not having to think about anything else. You're just working on sensation. And already, I don't know about you, I've noticed I've created loads of heat. I'm getting some tingles in my fingers. And it's having that mindful approach to go, oh, okay, I'm creating a bit of a change here. And hopefully it'll mean that you can barista another day. So, so finding that point.
And then just do the wiggle, wiggle
down. That's it. Use the breath and then wiggle it out if you haven't already. Beautiful. And really, really wiggle those fingers. And I know it sounds silly, rather than just the tips, like get those fingers moving. Yeah. Fab.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely generating a lot of heat, which is very interesting.
Wonderful. So, another little thing that I wanted to try, me being really organized, there we go. If anyone at home has a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, or if you want to get yourself a fascia ball, such a simple way of getting rid of tension. And you can do it at home. You could have it behind the bar, and you could do a little quick roll. So even that, having a roll up the forearm, across the chest, because again, a load of us if depending on how your bar is set out, because we're all different, no bar is made exactly for you, or unless it is your bar and you've made it that height. You know, you've got to work with the structure that's already there. So maybe even taking a moment to acknowledge that, and like, maybe my stance needs to be wider. Maybe I need to bend my knees a bit more. And if you find that you're rounding over that bar, or like lifting up too much, making those adjustments. Because I am a vertically challenged barista.
Oh yes, I know the feeling very well.
Exactly. So you're like either reaching up, or the bars are the wrong height, but it's okay. You've just got to adapt. But yeah, using a fascia ball and placing the pressure, because then you can put as much pressure as you like. You can pop, oh, you can't see that. You can pop it on the surface of the bar and really roll around the hands, because all that gripping and holding like the steam jug and tightening everything through just to open everything out, that can feel really good. You can do it on the base of your feet when you get home if you've been stood up all day. That feels lush. You can get deep into muscles, and I've actually been doing a load of consultations in lockdown, because I can't massage people, of using these, of being like, right, second best thing, if your partner doesn't want to help you out. So yeah, definitely worth having a play. Reminder, you're not searching for pain, that sharp shooting, isolated sensation. We don't want that. We can play with discomfort. So as long as you can breathe through it. What else did I want to say? Oh yes, for those that experience anxiety, because it's a biggie. We all, with anxiety being the fear of the future, because we don't know what's going to happen next. And it's mad that it's on the same level as excitement, but it's more the fear-based. So what I really invite is, again, if you're feeling overwhelmed behind the bar, or even when you get home, is rather than having that fold response and just shutting everything down, open yourself up. So I pop my hands behind my back, I try and hold on to my elbows, and this encourages a nice open heart. And because you are physically holding yourself open, you kind of have to surrender a little bit and be like, I'm okay, I can breathe, and this will pass.
Yeah.
And you feel that heart rate really strongly, but that's also totally okay. And again, tapping in with that breath. And it is amazing when you actually tune into it, rather than the thoughts spiraling around your head, how you can just ground down and feel a little bit more centered. Building on that, this point here, and I'm going to lean up a little bit, just underneath your breastbone, there should be a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a depression. Yeah. So if you take peace fingers and find that little point, now ideally not just after you've eaten, that might feel a bit uncomfortable, but just gently circling clockwise can be so soothing. We've got loads going on underneath here. We've got a big bundle of nerves, the solar plexus, so it's not just that chakra energy.
You've broken up a small bit.
Oh no! It's probably because I was talking about chakras. Am I back? Am I back?
It's just like the bad vibe. You're like slowly coming in.
Slowly? Got me?
Yeah,
So
we can hear you. We can
okay.
hear you.
I will keep it going. So this point that we were touching and circling clockwise, you've got the solar plexus, that bundle of nerves, you've got the entrance to the stomach, which makes sense that a load of people can feel really sick when they get really anxious. And also you've got the connection to the diaphragm. So that wonderful muscle that allows us to breathe, if that's getting really tight and constricted and we're breathing only up in our chest, you're going to feel stuck and you're going to feel like you can't take that breath in. So it's a really nice, simple, again, you can do this behind the bar without anyone really noticing, of just grounding back down and easing through. I love that one. I teach my clients all the time. So I think a little thing I did want to mention, and I'm not quite sure, I think I've seen his name, but Ali, my boss and Bezzy, my Bezzy boss, is watching this evening. But
he actually asked a question.
Oh, perfect.
Can you see the question?
Oh, I will answer that. So before,
but you've got another one as well.
Before I start answering questions, if I've got time, using your environment to find release in your body in any which way. Now, I really, really would love it if more people felt comfortable in just moving their body in the workplace. And I don't mean inappropriately. I just mean in terms of shifting and releasing and using what you're already doing to see if you can get a little bit more from it. For example, now this might look a bit silly. Let's see what I can do. For example, if you're doing a lot of... Am I back? Am I with you?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll go. Just took it away so people can see what you're doing.
So if you are like reaching down and you're restocking a bottom shelf somewhere, for one thing, great practice with a squat, wonderful for your hips, wonderful for your lower back. So really dropping into that squat, and then once you're ready to come up, rather than shooting up, why not put your fingertips on the floor, drive the heels down, and then you lift the bum up and you find that beautiful forward fold, and you get a release in the lower back, and then roll all the way up through the spine.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Do you know what? Just being a bit creative and just being like, if you reach over one side and you really feel it, okay, well, let's just have one more over there. And just start creating bits of dances. Like, it's your body. Find expression with it. And I really want people to look after themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that, especially at the moment, because I think everyone is filled with anxiety.
Exactly.
Especially if you're out working somewhere, or even if you're like, especially if you're out working somewhere and you're like working with the public every day.
Yeah.
It's anxiety is deeper. You're probably busier because you're the only one on bar because they can't have too many people and all this kind of stuff. So I think this has been well timed. I'm almost happy that we had a few weeks to like let this kind of like wait until it happens. So do you want to take questions?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Now,
so we just got one from Milk Houston. So like, what are some self-care tips for young baristas that get overwhelmed on the espresso bar, especially when it's fast-paced and high volume? We've all been there.
Yeah. So what we were talking about, using that extended exhale to actually calm the nervous system. So whatever you're doing, whether you can take 3 seconds to just pause and take a breath, it will make all the difference by having that one change. And then the rest of your shift might be completely different. Communicating. If you are stressed, tell someone. If you need help, see if there is someone who can help you. I think I was Ali will probably laugh. It's okay to ask for help, and you are a team. You're all there working as one. You know, we need to. Have you got me? You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So, I mean, for one thing, that's huge, and to invite that. And if you can tell that there are young baristas there that feel a bit nervous and are just trying to impress, you know, be like, I feel you, I hear you. How are you feeling today? That's quite a biggie. I mean, whether this is the thing, it depends on the individual situation. If people can take breaks, and especially to have water, that would be wonderful. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but when I used to work in cafes, just loads of coffee and too much coffee will dehydrate you. It'll, for one thing, make your body feel tighter because you haven't got that fluidity in the fascia, that connective tissue. So hydrating all the way through, and then your brain won't function if you're dehydrated. And really simple, a really simple thing like that.
Like I remember being a young barista, and I think this is what it's another point that I would touch on would be like that. Like when I was freaking out, that I broke in grinders. I broke in like 2,000 euro grinders from over stressing and getting overwhelmed, and because everyone's so busy and running around and trying to do dishes and everything. And I think the thing I learned was just to go stay calm and try not to do everything at the same time, or something will go on fire, quite literally. So let's just say grinders do heat up, and it's not always a good thing. And it's one
of those mad things of that whole women multitasking. I think with a job like this, it is way more mindful to know exactly what you're doing step by step, and then you just don't get confused. I was totally in the same. Teapots everywhere, smashed them to bits.
Oh God, we all haven't been there. The price of like young baristas, I don't even want to think about it, of what we all break. Do you think more cafes could benefit from some time with a massage therapist, say once every few months?
Yeah. In terms of an individual taking responsibility for their own self-care, I really recommend saving your tips. Honestly, in terms of a level of self-respect and being able to do your job, and finding a bodywork that suits you, because I totally appreciate that some people don't like being touched, and there are different ways to help relax the body. But if you do enjoy it, or at least you want to try it, you don't have to go for the full whack and go for like an hour and a half. Maybe just try half an hour with someone. And, you know, a load of places will do introductory offers. And I definitely would. On a bigger scale, in terms of companies, I think it's really worth investing in, mainly because, I don't know, if you want people to keep working with gusto rather than coming into work because they feel broken, you're only going to get so far, and then you'll either have a physical, mental or emotional breakdown, and then you're off for goodness knows how long. Whereas the physical, the mental, emotional benefits of bodywork are incredible. Get that serotonin flowing. Absolutely. I would, yes, amazing. What was Ali's question? What was the was it about clicky wrists?
It's clicky wrists.
Is it normal my wrists make huge clicking noises when I'm doing all of that? To be honest, if the clicking doesn't hurt and it's not painful, nothing particularly to worry about. I'd keep an eye on it. but a load of clicking's just gas. You got gassy wrists. So
Yeah.
so so Ali, I'd say you're fine, but in terms of, I know your physical situation, you need to be doing this more. Yeah.
I think Ali just got called out. So this is from Milk Houston again. How do you find boundaries for baristas that want to bring outside problems inside the coffee shop? I'm not sure.
I mean, in terms of,
like, maybe you can interpret the question.
So, I mean, that's definitely on a more, where is that question? It's vanished from mine. I feel like that's more definitely on a, here we are. I just want to have a look at it. I mean, really good point with boundaries in itself. You can set them yourself. That is whatever you as a company, as an individual, can be responsible for. Everyone has the right to say, I don't want to hear that in this environment. Thank you for sharing with me, but this isn't the time or the place. We can always take this after work. Or if you have the time and it's something that is affecting their work, again, it depends on your position in the company. If it's just someone chatting their problems at you, and I totally appreciate that there can be times throughout the day where you have times to talk, but I think that's knowing your own boundaries of knowing what you want to accept or not. So if that a decent enough answer. But in terms of if it's a bigger, because that's hard, and I get it, because that might be someone's only release when they come into work because they know they have someone to talk to. But this is where this sort of fluid communication needs to come into practice, that we need to ask each other, how are you doing? Yeah. And if it's not okay, then okay, well, what can we do about that?
And it's like, especially at the moment, because I think we're all just gushing to talk about stuff, or maybe just holding it in and such. So I think at the moment, even boundaries are more important than ever.
Definitely. And it doesn't devalue. It doesn't devalue what that person's saying, and it doesn't mean that you think that subject matter is not important, but you've got to remember your setting and whether it's appropriate. Because also, as a professional, the people on the other side of the bar, you know, how would they feel if if they heard what you were talking about? That, like, it's the consequences, and there's a time and a place, basically.
Yeah, for sure. Like for sort of the little tips you gave about kind of arms and back and anxiety, would you recommend them like doing them maybe once a day, once a shift, or would you do them more? Or
I would say checking in with your body daily, and it's whatever in terms of setting yourself up for the day, and you literally limber yourself up and you get ready, or you do it as a cool down. And you just take 5 minutes, even before you lock the door, because I know some of us will be like, quick, go! An honorary 5 mins to just go, that was the day, it is now done. How do I, and actually ask yourself, how do I feel in my body? Maybe you want to close your eyes if that feels comfortable and go, oh no, I'm achy. I'm aching my shoulders today, or whatever your body is saying, and then respond to that. This is the whole idea of self-care, being responsible, because you are the only one that is responsible for your body. So respond accordingly. And if you need help, ask for
it. We'll get in touch with Polly.
Yeah. Or your local therapist, whoever's around.
Yeah, because definitely I think we've all seen baristas who've had like arm things and so like arm supports and
Yeah.
heard of baristas having kind of like the reason they leave coffee is because they just have like a mental blowout, like they can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of baristas who've left for that reason, just because it was just so much.
Mm. Yeah, and it's just as important as any other industry, for sure.
Mm.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything you would like to end our conversation on?
I mean, just show a bit of love to yourself, really. Not to sound super corny or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true though. It's completely true.
Yeah, and just experiment a little bit. See what works, see what doesn't, and you'll find a way. If people don't do any other sort of mindful practice, or they practice yoga or meditation, try stuff out, or find other people that might be a bit interested. There are ways to make you feel good. You don't have to be alone with all of this, for sure.
Yeah. Especially at the moment. I keep saying that, but it's so true.
Exactly.
And just like, yeah, coffee shops are, for the baristas, they're like such stressful places.
Definitely. I mean, just before we go, this is such a personal comment. When I see a customer being really narky to a barista, I'm just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? They're serving you a lovely drink. Respect them, please. But yeah, you gotta. Yeah. Anyway, I'm waffling.
No, it's true. No, but I want to. We're almost at the hour, but I wanted to thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
Because obviously, yeah, because obviously, I think this is something it's so important, and it's not something that's like that gets talked about enough. Like I feel it could be talked about every day, but it should still be talked about more. But I think if I would recommend if anyone who is watching now or watching in the future, because we're actually going to be putting this up on YouTube, if people want a little bit of recommendations and stuff on how to self-care. You can definitely get in touch with Polly because you said you're doing some Zoom or Skype ones at the moment.
Yeah, on Zoom.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's all about that self-care and getting zen, like Kat is doing right now. So yeah. Thank you everyone for joining, and obviously we're going to be putting this up on YouTube. So I will see you later, and we're going to be putting this up on IGTV as well, which is the middle.